Never weigh yourself after you eat supper.
I thought you knew that. You weigh yourself first thing in the morning, 10 minutes after you get up.
I weighed myself like almost like right after supper. I was like, son of a beef, that's not good.
Okay, so.
Where's my camera?
Oh, we're on live. Okay, so we're on Facebook Live.
Jason, we got half of your head, not your whole head.
Yeah.
You kind of look like you're a little decapitated, and Tracy's mic is off, and so is her camera.
She might just want to be a silent listener. It's okay.
Okay.
Well, that's what we'll put everybody on this island anyway, besides.
Yes.
Oh, what am I doing? Okay, so I'm on the event page right now, and okay, it says we were live 37 minutes ago.
Haven't been live for the last 37 minutes. Oh. Heaven help us now.
Okay, so Wendy, your hair is beautiful. Okay, she's talking to you, Priscilla.
Oh, thank you. Hi. Good evening.
And Dana. Hey, Dana. She said hello, guys.
Hi.
Okay, now this one here. Can they see us?
Did you see us?
Okay, where is that?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
It's hello, and I want to remain silent.
Hello.
If you guys want, I can read
You
off
guys
the
can-
Zoom group chat messages, okay?
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay.
And with this phone here, I'll answer all the questions and whatever. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, we had 3 minutes. That's strange. Probably because it's on here too. Saying there's 2 notifications. Marco's red. Okay, I'm good. Okay, here. Okay, now it says we're live. Okay, I just had to refresh that. So there we are. And then that's just on.
Okay, so we're good.
Okay, and on Facebook, Loya, Beatrice. Cree. Hey, Cree. Okay, so you guys ready?
Yep.
Okay, so we're gonna do the so welcome everyone. I'll be looking at multiple screens here, so I just want to say welcome to our first online full moon gathering. A lot of people have been waiting for this for over 3 months, and this is our first time actually doing this, so be patient with us. We're doing the best we can, and we're actually recording live right now on Zoom and Facebook, and we'll be moving the recorded session to YouTube, because a lot of other people are not on Facebook and Zoom, so they're just gonna tune in on YouTube after the show. So the full moon gathering is traditionally a 4-day gathering. It's a 4-day ceremony that we gather and we pray. The full moon is a time where we push negative energies away from us for 30 days until the full moon to the full moon. And it's also a time, because we are now in a phase of the super pink full moon. So the super moon is basically the moon is closest to the earth right now, and it's pink because of the season we're in, and there's a whole bunch of other stuff that I'm not going to get into. But basically the colors of white and the colors of pink are very powerful tonight. So we have here a couple of selenite, and selenite is great for full moons. And we have a couple of pink items as well too.
Like pink opal.
Yeah. So we tried to wear white and pink as much as possible on a pink full moon. So with the full moons, we always start with ritual as well. Ritual first, so we're going to do a prayer, and then the girls are going to do a sound healing after the prayer, and Loya is going to pull a card for us to get us started. So let's take a minute or two to say a quick prayer to call our angel guides in, our spirit guides, creator, and so forth. Okay. So everybody just pray in your own way. You could pray in your head or you can pray out loud. So, Creator, we ask that you watch over us in this full moon ceremony tonight. We ask that the spirits of north, east, south, and west are here with us. We ask that the angels protect us and guide us, and we ask that our manifestations are amplified tonight. Hi. So we'll just get Denise here to do some sound healing for us now.
And Denise is also saging for us while we prayed. Not sure how long you wanted me to go.
Oh, okay. I was just waiting for you. Sorry.
No, that's okay, because I could get lost in this and I would keep pounding the drum all night long. So I'm trying to pull in the reins here. But if you want me to go longer, I'm happy to. But
yeah, Denise will get you to come back with the drum to close the circle off once we're done here. And so now Loya is gonna pull out a card for us. So
Yes. So actually, just before I pull a card, so while there was praying and drumming, I was actually getting a really strong feeling from somebody that had been in an excited energy when this had started, and then their energy had calmed, but it calmed with a lack of anticipation. So meaning that, you kind of come in and you're like, I don't think this is what I thought it was. And the person, this particular person's energy that I'm picking up on, you're wondering, like, what is this about? And you almost actually have a frustration or an agitation to you. And I feel that frustration and agitation is actually a resistance to joining into the group to have this clearing. I feel that there is a clearing for you, and that agitation, that frustration that you're feeling, it almost wants to pull you out, but yet you're still sitting here and you're still watching us and you're still a part of this. So that is a really good thing, because in my perspective, that means that there's definitely something here that is holding you here because you need this clearing. And if anybody would like to privately message me on that, or one of the team, feel free. Just back, relax, and just enjoy this. So the the oracle cards that we're using tonight are the Indigo Angel cards. They're actually a leadership type deck, and it's for not just indigos, but anybody that's in a caring situation. And right now, I believe that this deck is very precise for what it is that we're going through. I'll just pull one card. Actually, it's showing me pull 3 cards.
That's our lucky number.
That's my number. All right. So, the first card is, I'm sorry about the glare there. You already know. And I will read our description here. I can definitely feel somebody's excitement, people. Oh. This card ironically comes to you when the answer is something you already know, but are denying or requiring confirmation of. In this circumstance, the angels are saying that you have the answer, and you also know exactly what to do to move forward. This card asks you to trust in yourself and the divine order of the universe and do what's best for you. Only you can come from listening to your guidance, and only good can come from you trusting your own intuition. I can actually feel the connection with somebody on that card already. And there's a person going, oh my gosh, how can I say that? Is it possible that somebody can actually feel you resonate with that card? Yes, somebody can feel you resonate with this card. The next card, Manifest. This is like one of Jason's favorite cards, I'm sure.
Sorry, I wasn't trying to laugh.
I know, it's like perfect.
That's why.
It is perfect, isn't it?
Yeah.
As an indigo, you have an innate manifestation abilities that this card guides you to use to improve the situation you're inquiring about. The act of manifestation is more than just dreaming about what you desire in life. It's deciding that your dreams have already come to fruition on the spirit level and trusting that divine timing, they will appear in material form. This card asks that you be aware of how much your energy, your thoughts and feelings affect the reality around you, and to realize the importance of believing in yourself. When you're using your natural manifestation power, you feel complete trust and know that every new day is preparing you for the new chapter of your life. I personally can actually see how those two cards fit together, and it's really cool that this next one popped up because it's exactly how I see the first two. Sorry. Believe in yourself. When you receive this card, the angels want you to see yourself and your potential the way that they do. They view you as an unlimited person with infinite potential. Right now, the most important thing you can do is realize this for yourself. Ask the angels to release any doubt or fear you have about your life and your path. Those doubts are part of being an indigo because you're strongly affected by negative energy. By believing in yourself, you're telling the angels that you wish to live up to your full potential in this life, and they will take immediate action to guide you accordingly. Yeah, so to me, actually, this whole card pull is definitely about believing in yourself, especially right now, believing that it's going to be okay, believing that you're going to get through this, and believing that you still can do the things that you want to do regardless of what's going on out in the world right now. Okay, yes. Is there just a quick alliterate? Does anybody have any questions about that? Anything you want to chime in that it resonates with you?
Well, with me for the first card about you already, how did it go again? You already know the answer?
Yep.
Um, Yeah, I had that discussion with my brother actually a few hours ago, and regarding a family situation, and regarding ceremony and all that, and a whole bunch of other stuff that we're talking about. And he said basically you already know the answer, and I was told that before, and I was talking about the full moon and all this stuff like that, and it was basically a reminder of self-empowerment for me. That when it comes to ceremony and all that stuff, that I've been hesitant. Some of you that know me, I've been very hesitant about having my own ceremonies and stuff like that culturally for the past couple years, and now it's kind of the universe is really pushing me to do it. But I told myself I'm not going to go into that whole ceremony lifestyle until a few years from now, because I said I can't do that lifestyle and I can't run the store at the same time. That's what I told myself. It's about balance, definitely, because like once I open that door to the ceremony realm, I'm going to be super busy like back to back, and I told myself I need somebody to run the store for me in order for me to do it. So I have my mundane life here, and I have my business life, and I have my ceremony life here. So what's basically happened is I said I don't know how to bring the two together. I don't know how to be a ceremony person, just accepting tobacco and accepting trades and all that stuff, and not accepting money as much as I can. And then I have my business life here where I have to accept money in order to pay for the store and do a whole bunch of other stuff that requires finances. So I said I don't know how to. I'm still trying to figure out how to do both together, where I could be a ceremony person and a store owner at the same time, and where I'm not becoming corrupt, like money corrupt, because I'm not going to say names, but there's a lot of healers I met that started working as a chief or a counselor or whatever, something to do with politics, and then they went into ceremony life, and when they got into ceremony life, they started charging a lot of money for their services, like 30,000, 100,000, things like that. Mm-hmm. And it became after a while with those people, it became more about money and less about healing the person. And so I told myself, the way I was taught is that I was taught you can't have both. You can't have the mundane life and you can't have the ceremony life at the same time. But the past 15 years, what happened culturally is that a lot of our elders now are breaking their own protocols, their own rules. And now they're saying because we live in a modern society, we have to bring the two together. We have to basically work as everybody else, pay our taxes, things like that. And we have to keep our ceremonies at the same time. And what they find the hardest within my age generation is that we have to live both worlds. We have the old world and we have the new world, and we're a bridge in between. So we're trying to find out how to bridge the old world and the new world together in that way. And it's not the easiest thing to do.
No, and I can actually see where a lot of what you're talking about is actually what's holding you back. Mm-hmm. Is you don't know what it looks like, mm-hmm. Then you don't know how to proceed forward. But just to do it like today in this moment, doesn't mean you're going to neglect one. It just means that's what you're doing today in this moment. Like, for instance, right now you're doing this video. Mm-hmm. So if you were doing a ceremony, then that's what you would be doing in that moment. You wouldn't be open with the store, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think, there's definitely, as you were talking, I could definitely see where your block was in regards to not seeing yourself where all of that fits going forward.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Oh, definitely. Like, it goes further into protocol. It goes further into not like, even the factor with Priscilla, like her showing the rattles to you guys, and like the rattle, I should say. Traditionally, we're not allowed to do that. We're actually breaking protocol. We're actually breaking the rules that were set in place by man. It wasn't set in place by spirits. It was set in place by man. And that started from the whole church thing, which is a different story. But basically, anything to do with ceremony, we're not allowed to talk about, especially in public. So we're actually, by doing videos like this and talking about our ceremony selves and what we do, and somewhere along the ways, like, we get a big backlash for doing videos like this in our own communities. Like, when we go home and so forth, people are like, you guys are fakes, you guys shouldn't be talking about ceremony on video, you guys shouldn't be showing I don't know, like rattles and like leather stuff, like, just basically like a feather fan, for instance. Will say, if I brought that on video and I was doing a demonstration on a feather fan healing, people in a lot of native communities would, they wouldn't like that. So that's what I mean. It's trying to find that balance of what can I do, what can I get away with and what I can't. And
but maybe it's not so much the balance of it, but it's learning how to bridge it, right? Because it's like you said, we are definitely on the cusp of a new spiritual realm. Like, I fully honestly believe that we are ascending in much higher places, and I've seen years ago that all of the stuff that we've already learned, like all of the Reiki and the healing modalities that we've already learned, that was just a stepping stone for what's coming next. And tradition is tradition, but yet tradition doesn't become tradition until it's been practiced repeatedly over and over and over again, right? So I fully can understand your conflict in that.
Even for instance, Loya, like when we talked about writing my book, like, my book would have been done physically right now, but I've been hesitant about it. And what basically happened when writing my story of my personal life, that was one book in itself, and how, like I said, being this bridge between the worlds and trying to explain that in writing, the laptop itself broke and all my whole book was destroyed basically. And so when I asked elders about it, and I asked probably the wrong people I should be honest, but I asked about that, like, why did that happen kind of thing. And the people said that you're not supposed to share that information on a paper. That's why they said that the spirits destroyed your laptop, an $800 laptop, because you're going to share information that wasn't allowed to be talked about. And I said, well, what can I talk about? And they said you can talk about, normal everyday stuff, but you can't talk about ceremony, you can't talk about spirits, you can't talk about what the colors mean in our culture, and all these little things like that. And a lot of it was going to be put in that book, respectively. And so ever since that was a few years ago, ever since that moment, I just stopped writing. Like, so that's what I mean. I blocked myself. So that card does make a lot of sense.
Sometimes we just need to write for ourselves too, right? In order to get it straight, in order to track our own journey, to see how far we've come, so that we don't forget.
I never thought of it that way, but yeah, that's pretty good. I'm also picking up too that not only me, that card resonated with somebody else. So I'll let somebody else speak.
Well, I guess I could probably speak to it too, because some of the conflict that I feel with drumming, actually, because being from a Métis background, my dad was very musical, And so I grew up with the guitar and the drum, and my dad always encouraged me to play whatever instrument that I wanted. So, but I know in the Cree or the Mohawk tradition, women weren't usually the drummers, or they're not usually the drummers, and I'm not Salish or Haida Gwaii, where those are cultures where the women are the drummers. So I think maybe just knowing that, and as we share knowledge, I've come to believe that I think we're meant to share things together, and even though tradition and culture is important, I think if we get too hung up on culture, then there's sort of a pullback rather than a sharing. I'm all for sharing, but I understand. I think, Jason, when we talk about, there's always sort of that feeling of, oh, should I be saying that? Should I be sharing this? Is it okay? And not sure, we're always sort of second guessing ourselves. And I think maybe that's what the pink supermoon is going to teach us tonight. Maybe to get past that, just share and not worry, not be scared. Because we have to show ourselves, right? It's being upfront and present. And that's not always easy to do. So that's been what I'm feeling. And especially, Jason, when you were speaking, it was like, oh, all of that feeling was coming forward.
And if you guys are picking up too that there's blockage in my throat chakra, there has been. So I just want to clarify that if anybody's picking that up. That's why I'm wearing blue, is because I'm trying to break those blockages by telling my truth. So add that in.
I shared earlier to our group, I had seen a post on Facebook about the full moon in Libra. The purpose of the Libra full moon is to empower you. This is a testing time. Cleanse and purge your life of self-limiting beliefs through thought patterns and attitudes. Much collective healing is taking place. What you do for yourself, you do in support of healing for all. The way forward is to be flexible and adapt quickly as your perception changes. So that actually just, in my opinion, ties straight into what our cards were. It's exactly what Jason and Denise were just sharing about. So there's no such thing as a coincidence, right? These cards came up specifically to help us anchor in the power of tonight and what we need to do going forward.
Jason, there's something that's come up for me a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And that is that you need to tell your story for yourself to get your truth out. Not necessarily to share it, but to put it down and write it out so that it's there for you.
Mm-hmm.
Because you need to release and tell your story. It's part of who you are to become and what you're supposed to do on your life's path. So it's not, your computer may have broke because you were thinking of selling it, but don't write it to sell it. Write it for you. Write your truth for you. Anything that comes after that is a gift, and it's to be done at that time. It's not decided, and nor has it been planned. What needs to happen now, and what I keep getting is that you need to put this down on paper for yourself. You need to do this for you.
You know, I'm going to share a little personal story, too, about what you picked up there, Teresa. Like, you know, that's a lot of it is true. Like, I just went into the part about the book part. But what my personal story is, too, is that, like, my coworkers know this. We're talking a little bit about the day school, and a lot of people in my communities, I honestly assumed that a lot of people have finished their day school applications. So basically what a day school is, is that when we went to school, like me and Priscilla we don't like to call ourselves victims, but when we were in school there, it was considered a residential school, but they moved the name under day school. So there was a lot of abuse that took place, like sexual abuse, physical abuse, mental abuse, and spiritual abuse even. And yeah, and we couldn't speak our language and so forth. So all that abuse, that trauma that we went through, we blocked a lot of it, and that's how we became alcoholics over the years. And I was a junkie, drug addict at one time and stuff. And so with all those blocked memories, we went into a more spiritual life. So that's how we became these spiritual these more spiritual people. We became spiritual. We thought we dealt with a lot of our old memories and trapped traumas and things like that. And when it came time to us telling our story, writing it out about what happened to us on this application form, so that we're able to get this this money from the government, basically, for the healing and all that stuff. And also to do with funding and stuff like that for healing. What do they call those? Not projects. Anyways, yeah, and then we started writing our story, and halfway through the application, we stopped. We stopped because it was getting too emotional. There was old memories that we forgot that were coming forward. We talked about it amongst ourselves. And we didn't finish it. We didn't want to tell the truth. We didn't want to tell the story of what happened to us individually. And so those applications are still sitting there basically on a desk. And now our communities and our people are asking us, tell your story, finish the application form. You guys, your money is sitting there, this and that. And now it's kind of like this week in itself, we've been pushed basically day after day. We've been concentrating on school work and the store and stuff like that, but our families back at home are really, and our communities are really pushing us to get these forms out there, kind of thing, so that we get paid from the government. And
Jason, don't do it for the money, do it for you. You need to do this. This is something I keep getting whenever you're talking, is I keep hearing, this is something you need to do to start your own healing within, to finish healing those things. And until you start acknowledging them and putting them down on paper and making them real, so that they're there, then they'll start allowing you to look at, okay, I can move past this now. That's what keeps coming to me. All I get is this idea of you sitting and writing because you need to write to put yourself in a better position so that you become healed from within, so that your path becomes clear and you can do the healings you need to do. Like, you open a gateway when you release.
Yeah, that's super powerful what you said. And I don't want to over talk on this video, but I keep feeling Priscilla needs to let go of something here as well too.
Priscilla already knows what I think.
Yeah.
I had an discussion with Priscilla. She knows exactly what I think.
So, not to overly interrupt, but I feel like you're right, Jason, we do kind of need to move on. So are we going to are we going to write up our full moon manifestations on video tonight, or are we just going to talk about the crystals you have happening there? I don't mean to ignore you at all.
No. It's that's pretty good. So what? Actually, you want to grab that? That'll our manifestations for the last 30 days. So basically, what Loya is talking about here is that a part of the full moon ritual and letting go and all that stuff and sharing stories is that we write what it is we want to manifest or let go within 30 days. So these manifestations here were actually from 30 days ago from the last full moon. So I'm not going to open these or anything, but it gives you an idea of our last full moon that we did. We wrote down what we wanted for the next 30 days, and we also wrote on a separate piece of paper what we don't want, what we're trying to overcome. So if everybody wants to do that, it's totally up to you, but you just grab up 2 pieces of paper. I'm going to just use this one here. And this is going to be garbage anyways.
And I believe one of the things with manifesting is that when we focus our mind and our energy even on the things that we don't want, and it usually ends up being that that's what we end up getting, and that's because we're focused on what we don't want. So we energetically bring that into our lives and into our fields. So that's where it's definitely required that we should be positive as much as possible and focus on what we do want. Because wherever our energy goes, wherever our thought process generates to the most is the energy that we're going to end up pulling in.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be super fancy. You could just, like, I always do mine just point form. And if you don't feel like writing, you could always just draw it out as well too. I do both. I do the writing, and then I also do little diagrams and things like that to help me with the manifestation. So this usually takes about 5 to 10 minutes, depending on how fast you write, but it doesn't take very long. The nice thing about these too is that it's totally private and confidential, so whatever you write, no one's going to see it.
Yeah, I wrote down 4.
Okay.
Yes, Ruth. What we write about is what we want to happen in our own life.
I'm going to share mine, if you guys don't mind.
Yeah.
Hey, I put mine, let go of grieving and move forward. Reason I wrote that is because I'm still grieving for my late dad. He passed away 10 years ago, and I loved him so much because he was my rock. And I lost my late mom 2 years ago. She was my other rock, and she was a rock of the family. So these two are very, very hard to let go of, to move forward for myself. Because I keep thinking of them every day, just like I'm still hanging on to them. Like I didn't let them go yet. So tonight, I want to let them go and move forward with my life, like when I wake up tomorrow. Because I know they're in a better place, they're happy where they're at. They're well, they're no longer sick, and all that. So tonight I'm going to let go of my grieving part for them. Because it's time that I got to let go of my parents. Let them go. Not completely, but because I know they're there in spirit to look after me, to guide me. And when I pray, I know they come all the time because I still smell the tobacco. I still smell the sages of them. And just tonight, I just got to let them finally rest in peace. Because I haven't did that yet. But tonight I like to let them go and have my part of my grieving tonight with the pink moon ceremony. But I'll never ever forget them. So, and then now the second one is let go of past negativity. The past negativity in my life is what has happened to me. Just to let it all go and let the universe take care of it. Let Creator God look after it. I give it all to God's hands. So that's what I'm manifesting tonight, and accept changes in my daily life. because we're at home right now, and I'm not used to staying at home, but I got to. I'm used to always traveling and on the road all the time, so I had to accept that change in my life. Then there's always a possible. I believe in that. There's no such thing as it's impossible. There's a possible. That's what I believe in. So I just thought I'd share those 4 little manifest things that I want to let the pink moon take care of tonight. And as I go to sleep tonight, I will pray and let it go. That way, God, Creator, He hears us all the time. He's there. He's always there. He could hear our prayers.
I just love you so much, Priscilla. I just do. Like,
Aw, thank you, Loya. I love you too, Loya.
I just want to hug you right now. Since we're sharing, I'll actually share one of mine. One of mine is accept self-love. Because I've had a really hard time with that, with accepting that, with living through the life that I had. It wasn't great. I didn't make the best of choices in my life, and there's things that I would condemn myself for, but I'm learning to have compassion. I'm learning to understand my why and where that I had made those decisions from, like the energy of my life from which I have made those decisions from, and I'm learning to have some compassion for me so I can grow. I want to let go of my old life. I want to let go of that old person, and I want to move forward. I want to be bigger and better and grow. That's my desire. I just want to grow.
Thank you for sharing. So if everybody is ready to move on to the next step here, what you do is you have your piece of paper, and you want to fold it 3 times. Because 3 is a number of the full moon. It represents 3 also represents 3 goddesses. Now mine is all folded here, and we usually put ours in this silver dish. You could use a silver bowl if you want. So I just do that. So that way our manifest. Yeah, or you can burn it. But because we're inside, we're not going to burn it.
Yeah.
But if you're at home, you can always burn your paper and scatter the ashes to the 4 winds.
We should get into that.
Denise, when you're ready, do you want to just talk a little bit about color therapy and what the pink represents?
Oh, the pink.
Yeah.
Yes. The pink. Very fitting that pink is the color of love. That's really what it means. And so very fitting that Loya would talk about, self-love. And so I think with that energy of the pink color, I mean, I have rose quartz, if anyone has that. Of course, it is the beautiful pink color. And I even have a rose quartz that's in the shape of a beautiful heart. It's like a thick heart. So, and Priscilla's holding up her, I think it's a rose quartz as well. Is that what you have, Priscilla?
It's a rose opal.
No, pink opal.
Pink.
Rose opal.
A pink opal. And it's shaped like a heart as well.
That's fantastic. So And then I paint mandalas. So Jason asked if I had a pink one, and I did. I do have one that I painted. It's sort of a magenta and pink mandala. And if you're not sure about the meaning of the mandala, it's a very ancient wisdom where the center of the dot is like, it represents you. Or when I painted this, it represented me. So I am the center of the universe, just as you are the center of the universe. And then a mandala means that. So colors, sacred geometry that you can see within this mandala. And it takes all different forms, but you can see all the colors of even the chakras are all in this mandala. So sorry if I'm rambling, but I hope that helps explain it. Pink is an energy, as is all the colors are an energy. And so we're always affected by energy, color, vibration, which is why sound, and the sound of the drum all goes together. There's a sound frequency. You might not be able to hear color. If you were in tune to it, color has a sound as well. And so when we're thinking about color therapy, that's why it means that. And that's why I call, my work, or my company name, if you want to call it that, is called Energized Mandalas. Because everything we do is based on energy, and we're affected by it. And so powerful tonight with the pink supermoon and helping us to manifest, and it's magnifying that for us tonight. So I'd like to think that everything we're doing here tonight is with love, about love. I know for myself, one of my things I was writing on the paper was about unconditional love. That is something that I'm working towards, and that's one of the things moving forward. So the color pink is going to help me with that. I'm going to keep that with me tonight moving forward, and probably for the next 30 days, just like Jason recommended, thinking about that for the next 30 days until the next full moon. And then there'll be maybe a different color that we focus on, a different energy or a different reason and a different purpose. It's all about healing ourselves and helping to hold space for others as a facilitator to help others in their journey and healing. So I hope that explains about the color therapy. Thank you. Hi.
It's beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Love that. Okay.
I'm not sure that if you can hear it, but whenever there is a silent moment, I have a series of crystal bowls. And truly, because we're using crystals tonight.
Okay, I found this on the web for series of crystal balls.
Sorry, Alexa, heard me talk about crystals. But anyway, in between when it's silent, I hope you don't mind. I will play some of the sounds for you, so that those crystal energy, sound healing energies goes out to you because you actually can hear it. Even if you were hard of hearing, it doesn't matter. Like even if a deaf person was in the room, the quality of the frequencies going out still heals a person, whether you hear it or not. But it's just sort of an extra special bonus that we can hear it when we do.
That's beautiful. Does anybody else want to? Okay. Does anybody else want to add to that the color pink and what it means to them?
Lawyer, are you going to talk about it today?
What am I talking about today? The color pink?
Yeah, or
Yeah.
even the Libra energy. Like we didn't really go into that, but the moon is in Libra, I think. That's
Yes,
what
the
you
moon
said,
is in Libra. But you know what? I have to admit, I don't know astrology very well.
yeah. Oh, okay.
I don't know astrology.
Okay.
I was more thinking about what we've been discussing all day today and yesterday.
Yeah, the pink ley lines,
Yeah. Lines. Lake lines.
ley lines, ley
Yes.
lines, ley lines. I apologize.
That's
Um, Just give me a second. Because I have a feeling that there's somebody that's watching or is going to be watching very soon that actually needs a lot of healing. Their body is very painful. They're not very young. Like I see that they're a little bit older. So by older, you know, I'm almost 50 myself. So by older, I'm pushing it like over 65. And it's a woman, and she's alone. I'm most of this. Her body, like, yes, her body hurts, and she's got some back problems. She's got some lower back problems. Because I'm feeling that the pink energy, like we were just talking about, I actually feel like because she had a pink stone, big pink stone, and laid it on her back where it hurts, and it hurts on her right side on the inside of her spine. Put that stone on there, and it will help alleviate the reason why the pain is there. Sometimes pain is the emotional pain. Sometimes pain is not just the physical aspect, it's an emotional one, and it's also an energetic one because there's a vibration. She's had a really hard life. I'm asking what else we can do, what else she needs to hear or that we can say for her. If this resonates with you, get a hold of the team. There's so, like, Elf Angels Creations, we have a lot of healers that have many different modalities that can help. But I get the deep feeling that she's alone. And by reaching out to us, at least then she won't be as alone.
On Facebook here, there's a Jen Duquette. She said, "Is it me? Possibly. I have that pain."
Oh, really?
Yeah, Jennifer Duquette.
Okay. And your whole body hurts? I know that we have a bit of a delay, Jen, so I'll try to wait for you. I have a feeling like the whole body hurts and it's like crippling and you're like over because it hurts so badly. All right. You've had a hard life. Your father was a hard man. Your spouse, when you were young, you had a spouse when you were quite young. He also was quite the hard man. And then I have a feeling that you had been separated and single for quite for a time period after that. So if this resonates with you, please let me know. Another question, do you have tears in your eyes? It's that feeling of connection. It's that feeling of, oh wow, there's the warmth. I can feel that somebody's feeling that warmth, that love, that warm, that connection. Priscilla, I actually have a feeling that you could probably chime in on this.
Jennifer just said here, yes, true, my whole body, and yes, he was my ex, separated now for 7 years.
Okay.
Oh.
Hey, Jen, I do believe this is for you then. And actually, Priscilla, I have a feeling that, Priscilla, I am feeling you through your right side in the front, but it has a feeling that you can help me.
Oh, yes. I can help you.
Feel that?
Yes, I feel
All right,
good.
sunshine. Let's go to work.
Okay. So,
All right. So,
um,
I don't know if
what's
you're
your
just
name?
watching on the live or if you can actually see me too while I'm on the Zoom.
yeah.
I am trying to hold those energy cords
Right there.
loose so as that the effect that they have on you can be loosened. There's a lot of trauma, heartache in your life, and what I feel like is one of the reasons why your body is so sore is because you've been holding all of this in so tight, and you've lived your life trying to not let any of this affect you. All right. Are you reading anything, Priscilla?
Have you fallen on your right side? Like you slipped, hurt yourself a long time ago as when you were a child? I'm picking up on that you had fallen and you hurt yourself on your right side, and that pain because of our growth and everything, it disappeared for a while, and now you're feeling that pain because there's emotional pain in there.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm feeling trauma from your relationship, but I don't want to go into detail unless if you want me to say what it is, because we are on live, but I do pick up something.
Mm-hmm.
Except
We will-
what me and Loya will do for you, we'll pull it out, and then we can put protection on you, so that trauma won't no longer be there, won't affect your mind. There's something that you're still hanging on to. That's why you're hurting there in your back.
So Jennifer just said here that she lost her middle daughter. And she also said before here that I usually feel sad. My granddaughter always comes to me.
Okay. So I'm feeling that the majority of your body pain is from you holding all of that in from your path, from your life, the trauma, the experiences, and it feels like, to me, it just feels like you're just holding it in and not giving yourself the space in order to actually grieve the bad things that happened to you, in order to let it go. When Priscilla was talking earlier about letting go, a lot of times what we need to let go of is the pain that is associated to the experience. And like she said, we're not letting go of the parents. We're not letting go of the people necessarily, but we need to let go of that physical pain, because that physical pain definitely ails the body. Okay. And then actually, I don't mean to be rude, but I'm actually moving on to somebody else who has a lot of pain in their in the arch of their left foot. It's just kind of like, that just came in like a push. What about me? I got this. So somebody's got a pain on the arch of their lower left foot. Like I said, Jen, no disrespect. This is just kind of push its way through. Somebody who wants to be noticed. And it's okay, right? That's what we're here for. Okay.
I feel somebody's on the right side of my eyebrow here. Like it's almost like a pushing. Like almost like a headache. And then they want to scratch, but they don't, like, I don't know, it's really hard to describe that. How I feel right now on the side here. It's like something's like pushing.
Okay, so for the people that we've picked up on your energy and your pain and whatnot, please don't hesitate to contact us if you have some more questions and whatnot. Unfortunately, we're running out of time on our ceremony, so we need to move on to our next step.
Kevin, I'm curious, do you wanna do a quick reading on the full moon? I don't know if you ever did one, like a reading on the moon itself, like the energy, and give us some guidance from the Akashic records, because not everybody has the records or knows what the records are.
That would have to be done beforehand.
Okay. So
Sorry.
okay.
Do you want to show? Did you make a crystal grid, Jason?
Yeah, it's here. It's just we can't move the the laptop. Like, maybe I can. Hold on.
I could.
So hopefully you can see that.
Hopefully everybody could see it.
Yeah, so the crystal grid there is basically just helping us manifest things that were talked about and things that are not talked about. So it's just we do a crystal grid every full moon, and we try to change it up as much as we can. And the moon that you've seen there was actually Loya made those, and so actually I do a lot of full moon ceremonies, so I purchased that from Loya. And it's perfect. It's perfect for a full moon. And for the people, for the Facebook Live, I'm just going to move the camera so you guys can see as well. Somewhere. An angle. Okay, there we go.
Don't mind this. It's Canadian Tire money, but we're using that as money tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was just by special request. We have clients that are dealing with some money issues. Of course, we don't say names or anything, but for those people that are dealing with financial issues, we try to help as much as we can. We're not a bank, of course, but we do try to help remove any energy blockages to do with finances for our clients as well.
Am I allowed to show my pink full moon that I did?
Yeah, go ahead.
Ironically, I painted this a week ago, not realizing that this full moon was a pink one. And there's pinks and purples in this. It's beautiful. Gorgeous.
Oh my
Thank
God,
you.
it's beautiful.
Yeah, I love that. So yeah, with the full moon, we always, like I said, we always try to have a grid or another separate energy going on at the same time. And because Easter is almost around the corner, we thought we'd put an Easter egg there too. So these are made by Energized Mandela. So Denise here, she makes these, and this is like one of the only ones. So I purchased this right away before anybody grabbed it. but yeah, we want to celebrate the Easter holiday as well too. And actually the egg here, it represents fertility. So it represents fertility energy. And the fertility energy is so that nobody gets pregnant, or like we're not doing physical fertility, but it represents energetically that we want our manifestations and our desires to be fertile as possible. So that's what, and then the egg also represents healing. So in case you're wondering why there was an egg there. Okay, and now the other part of the program here is that there was supposed to be some other healers that were gonna talk a little bit more about what the full moon, how they celebrate the full moon and so forth, but they couldn't be here tonight. But we just wanted to do a shout out to Cassie Starchief and Sherry Melgivery from Meadow Lake. So they couldn't be here tonight, and Amy Edison, she couldn't be here tonight, and Blair Keikinger. So there was 4 other healers that were supposed to be with us tonight, and they couldn't be here. So they'll be on other programs.
Can we do a demonstration on that?
Yeah. Priscilla wants to show you before we leave here. Priscilla wants to show you guys a quick demonstration of the rattle healing, a bit about what we do in a store.
First of all, I'm going to break one rule in the protocol way of our traditional life. I'm going to show you people my rattle. Billy, you can see it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can see it.
Okay. So I am the rattle healer for Alpha Angels Creation. And I already talked about part of my life today on the other video. So I'm going to finish off what I'm going to do tonight, what I had promised the viewers. I'm going to do a demonstration on Jason. So what I'm going to do is the first step I always do is I hold my rattle up. I pray to Creator God, because He's always number one. And then when I'm moving the rattle down through my prayers, I'm praying to Mother Earth. I'm praying for the one rock that's burning in the core of the earth. And when I'm done all that there, I pray for him. Or pray for you. So what happens there, Creator's angels use my body to heal you. To heal him. So if he's suffering through traumas from his past, even relationships, don't matter. The angels use me to heal him through the rattle. And a lot of it, I do not say, because I gave it to Creator, I give it to His hands. And it's up to you if you want to know what I pulled out of you. And so that's what I'm going to do, a little demonstration on Jason here, so you'll know what a rattle healer does. I hear somebody laughing. Okay.
Oh, that's me. It's my puppy.
Okay, Jason, I'm going to do a little demonstration.
Okay. So I guess
So then you could sit here.
Okay. This other chair.
Or I could go get that little chair. I'll do it down.
Yeah.
Just sit there.
Okay.
I'm not going to actually do the prayer because I already explained what I do with the rattle. So what I do is, see how you're sitting? So it's almost like a Reiki with the rattle. So what it does, it aligns you. And what it does, what I do, I'll give him protection. And when the rattles take his trauma out, it was going to give him a lift. It's going to lift him up. So after I do the rattle healing on you, I always recommend to drink of water after because you're going to feel tired. And that's when the healing begins. And it's up to you if you believe it or believe into it. Sometimes a lot of people that I had rattle healed through my past, through my travels, they hadn't contacted me yet to let me know if it worked or not. So in my belief, I know I helped them. So this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do to you if you ever need a rattle healing session.
And for those of you who are watching here on the Zoom, the rattle is actually making noise. It's just for whatever reason the mic doesn't seem to pick it up.
And then when I'm done rattle healing, because this is a traditional rattle, it did not make a sound through the video because it's not allowed to. It's just the spirits. So I know if you could hear it, some of you that are really gifted and understand the sound of the rattle. So this is what it would sound like if you were here. I'm going to just shake my gum box. That's what a rattle sounds like. But a rattle has a little bit more of a shh sound to it. And so yeah, that's what I do for rattle healing. And at the end of my rattle healing, I always ask you to thank the rattle spirit. I'm going to give it to Jason, because I'm going to ask him to thank the grandfather spirit. Shake it 4 times for healing him. And then he's gonna feel
You want to explain as we shake it, we're letting go?
Yeah. As they shake, after you're done the rattle healing with me, when you shake the rattle, you're letting go of all your traumas, of everything that's hurting or bugging you. You let it go. Creator takes it. And everything is all confidentiality when I do a session with you. So I'd like to thank you guys for letting me do my demonstration of a rattle. I do understand that I broke my protocol a bit, except you guys probably wonder what a rattle healer was. So now you guys understand and what rattles, what I do.
So every time,
Showing us now, Priscilla.
yeah, we always do a healing for every full moon. The healing is always different, of course. That's why we have more than one healer. And we basically, every full moon, we ask a healer, local or sometimes from out of Lloydminster, we ask them to come and do some healing for us and for the people that can make it to the full moon ceremonies.
Jason, before Blair left this evening, because Blair was going to join us and share his gifts with us, Blair did mention that tonight the animal spirit that was with us would be the tiger or the lion. And so the spirit of the big cat is strength. So I just wanted to share that. And then my kitty cat came in tonight. So I think we do have the spirit of the kitty, the spirit of the cat with us as an animal spirit tonight.
It's beautiful. The spirit of the cat is also to do with flexibility. So it's letting us know that we have to be flexible in our ways of beliefs as well too. It's like I know I shouldn't mention it, but with this COVID-19 living of us being inside and quarantined and all that stuff that's happening to us, all of us are forced to be more flexible in our living, in our work, in our travel, in our homes, you name it. We all have to be flexible, and that's a part of the cat's lesson as well too. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention too that cat also spiritually is connected to the moon, and the moon is connected to his psychic abilities. So yeah, that's another thing I almost forgot to mention.
That I didn't know.
Yeah, so learn something
And
new
the
every day.
cat- Yeah, there's one more thing about a cat too, is the frequency. Because I'm a sound healer, I've studied about frequencies, and specifically the frequency of a cat's purring heals broken bones, and if you have strained tendons. So sometimes a cat knows this, like if you have something wrong with your body, like a broken bone or something that's unwell, a cat just kind of knows, and they'll be rubbing up against you, because they just have that ability. And the frequency of their purring heals. So just want to share that too.
Welcome back. So Blair has quickly joined us here. As we're talking about the spirit animals, and as we're talking about the spirit of the cat, it actually summoned Blair to come back and join us. Blair wants to share some information here as well too. I think regarding the tiger in the line, I'm not sure.
No, they have us in here.
Oh.
Well, they do. Oh. I don't have it in there. There.
You want to see it?
Wizard.
Oh. So, there's a new spirit that has come into this full moon ceremony tonight as well too. It's a spirit of the lizard. So the spirit of the lizard is to do with the energy of fire. It's also here to do with conservation, vision, self-protection, hidden defenses, shrewdness, and variation. So that Loya, that reading you did earlier when you said that somebody is feeling I can't remember the word you used there, but it's to do with self-protection and hidden defenses.
Being apprehensive.
Yeah. So that lizard is bringing that out. So somebody's getting healed.
Yeah, I felt that in the beginning, that it was somebody needed to stay.
That's beautiful. Is there anything else that you guys want to add to the healing before we move on to the closing of the ceremony?
I think they have any questions.
Okay, well, if there's nothing else, Loya, do you want to finish with a card, and we'll do, Denise, we'll do a closing prayer, and then you could finish off with some sound healing for the rest of us.
I certainly can. I actually have.
Okay, hold on. Sorry, there's people asking questions now. Linda, she lives in the United States. She said her ear is fluttering, and she said, and it has been. And Cree said, I wanted to ask a question if that's okay. Yes, go ahead, Cree.
Yes.
Or go ahead, Linda, whoever can type faster.
We'll get to everybody.
And then another spirit came in, a grasshopper.
Oh, you want to read it?
Yeah, so we have another grasshopper while we're waiting for the people that are asking questions. Okay, so we have another spirit that came in, a grasshopper. That means good luck, abundance, forward, progressive, vicious, forward, thinking, creative.
Virtuous.
Be virtuous.
Virtuous
Ooh,
forward
I like
thinking.
that. Mm-hmm.
So again, Loya, that has to do with the reading you did earlier about forward, moving forward and being flexible and adapting.
And believing in yourself in order to get it done.
Yeah.
Especially, yeah.
This is that
So thank you, Grasshopper.
Yeah.
Corrine, the last person. Is that what her
All
name
right.
is?
Okay, so it says here for the comments, Cree said, I'm wondering if I am being protected. I always worry I am not protected.
Yeah, maybe that's why I came in.
She also said here too, I'm expecting another baby as well. Just want my babies protected.
Well, there was an angel here.
So that's what we were talking about fertility earlier. We weren't expecting anybody to be pregnant, but there you go.
Yeah.
Corrine.
And the color purple is the color for protection. So if
So we can send it out to
sorry, I
Corrine
forgot
after.
her name. That was asking the question. She's worried about, is she really protected or feeling protected? She might want to surround herself with the color purple. That can really help. And Archangel Michael is the color for purple, and he protects. It's just a matter of asking him.
Can I?
Yeah.
And what I'm feeling too is that you have to make sure that when you're out and about, you actually don't put yourself in positions where you know there's going to be a lot of low-lying negative type energies and entities laying around. So that's part of protecting yourself, because what they're showing me is as you're going through places, it's like you're going through like a gray cloud down at your feet. So you're walking through it. So to me, that's symbolistic for in your mind, you're just carrying on along your way and not overly aware of the energetic impact of where you're going. So I hope that makes sense. Because it's telling me, like, you got to close those doors. Actually, I think that reads to your personal life right there. There's doors that you need to close.
And Dana Cam commented here. She said you need to believe in that protection as well, like also.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you for that, Dana. Our next question here. Okay. Oh, I thought it was a question. Sorry, that was Linda. She just put thanks. Linda, whenever you're ready, you could ask your question.
Linda, is it that you want to know why your ears are fluttering? Because I'm getting you don't listen. And a couple of days ago, when I was working with my team, I had felt the angels, and they were very sad because in this moment right now, they want to help us and serve us more than ever before. And as a people, we're not listening. We're not listening to the angels and their guidance and what they want us to do. So that could easily be part of what the fluttering is. The energetically, like energy becomes physical. I see that there could possibly be like a buildup or a blockage in your right ear, in the back there, behind your right ear. So I'm not sure if you can get some kind of drainage for that, but it's showing me that there's a part blockage in there.
So Linda here said that she'll need. I will need to go see a specialist. It is one ear, and it's very troubling. They said fluid. It's my left ear, and she said okay.
You know what is so weird that the last today I have been so backwards on my left and right with people. I feel it on my right side, but it's on your left. So,
Yeah.
I might have to. What are you guys laughing about?
Culturally, we have a spirit here, the Cree that you were just talking to. I know them personally, and their dad works a lot with the backward spirits. And so when she came in to ask that question about the protection, the backward spirit is letting her know that she is protected from the backward spirits, and that backward spirit is here today. That's why we're doing things a little backwards.
Well,
So,
I've been backwards
so
today.
you tapped into that.
I tapped in that, and that tapped into me before this call. So Tracy has a comment here on the Zoom group. What can you predict with the new awakening I feel is coming before Easter? I have never wanted to be more connected and not sure how to get there. Yeah, I fully agree with you, Tracy. Right now is the time to connect. It's time to connect to yourself, connect to Source, connect to Creator, connect to your life itself. That is why we have this time off. I personally don't feel a rush for it by Easter, but my take on this whole thing has been a little bit almost eerily calm with how I'm dealing with it. But this is definitely a chance for self-awakening, which ties back into our self-love and believing in ourselves. This is like a self-awakening moment. And in order to have that self-awakening, like we're waking up in our bodies almost, that is going to be our full connection to our full self, mind, body, soul, senses, spirit. And I personally believe this is what our time is. This is what our time is about right now.
Cheryl also asked here too, I've been having a lot of back, shoulder, and headaches. Not sure if it's related to stress and worry about this virus, because to me it's very scary, but I usually always have a lot of tension even before this virus.
I don't disagree that it's worry. But I actually feel too, Cheryl, that you live a lot on edge, period. And I'm feeling that you have a lot of this push energy, hurry up, get this done, do this right. It is like, I just feel like it's such a big push energy coming at you, and it's causing that tenseness because you're trying to stop it. And I feel like you, it's showing me like a jolt, right? It's like you're being pushed and it's going like this every time. And that's causing some stress in your shoulders, which in turn is creating the pain in your neck. I feel, and this might be the backwards spirit again, but to me, I'm feeling it on the right side. There's a knot in your shoulder blade, about 3/4 of the way down on your shoulder blade. There's like a knot. There's like a nice big knot in there. Get that worked on. It'd probably help a bit.
Okay. And Isabel said here, I've been struggling with continuous headaches that are at times painful. She said, help.
Again, I get it right here on my right side, like above my temple, above my ear. And it's literally, yeah, it is. It almost feels crippling. I have a feeling that there's your spirit guides or your angels that are actually trying to help, trying to get a hold of you. It feels like there's something on the other side that's trying to get a hold of you. Not necessarily a hold of you, like grab you or attach to you, but connect with you, contact you, if that makes sense. And yeah, it would take some work. I feel like it's in there pretty tight. It would take me some work to get through to that. That would take work for sure. If anybody else has anything else to chime in on that, feel free.
You were picking up that earlier, remember that?
Yeah. Yes, feeling a push right here. So that must have been, who's that lady?
Isabel?
Isabel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there was like a real weird. Now my left side and my ear is just burning really super hot. You didn't touch it?
Hmm?
You didn't touch my ear? No, it's like actually right here. That's all. Okay, it's really hot. Go on top. Yeah, okay.
No.
Okay. Okay, let me see.
Jennifer's last question here was, when there's a foul smell, is it a warning?
Sorry, what?
Jennifer's last question here was, if there, where is it now? When there's a foul smell, is it a warning?
First thing I get is that it could be different things, right? Sometimes it's not just a warning. Sometimes it could be a negative energy or entity that's nearby. So it might not just be a warning. It might be a negativity that's there. But again, that's where your intuition is going to have to come in, and you're going to have to be able to learn to decipher that on your own. Like, I feel that you have the ability that you can decipher that on your own. Like, and I'm feeling it like right here in your chest, and to me, that's a lot of the one of the knowing spaces where you can smell it and you will know the difference in it, right? Yeah. So I would take it as a warning because, like I said, sometimes it's it could be just a negative energy. So still take it as a warning and be very aware of what your surroundings are and the people that are in that surroundings.
She just said here she looked at a creepy condo today.
Well,
Or don't take it if it's creepy.
Yeah.
Okay, so what else was there? We're actually like running out of time because we're almost like an hour and a half, I think it is. So again, you want to talk to any of us, you want help with us, we can do long distance healings, we can talk to you. An easy way to get a hold of us is through Jason or Elf Angels Creations. The rest of us, we can put our names in Facebook connections on the Facebook Live event, if that, I think that should work for everybody. But there's another person who's got some neck strain, but it's only on one side because I feel ya right now. I feel it. And that neck strain, and I'm almost feeling nauseous. I think maybe I'm getting a few people all at once here. The neck strain is due to relationship tension. You are in a position that you don't really want to be in, but you feel stuck and trapped, and you're holding tension to it. So there's something within that relationship that's not working in this moment. It's not that it's a bad relationship. It's just not working right now. There's something in that relationship that just isn't working right now, and you have a lot of tension against it, and you're really short with the other person, and you're just kind of like, you don't want to talk about it. You don't really want to deal with it, because if you try to deal with it, you're just going to get mad, you're going to blow up, and that's not what you want to do. Yeah, because it just got even tighter. All right.
Isabel, I'm curious about what you're commenting here. It says you wanted to comment then. I hope I can continue with my issue. Thank you. At another time. So I'm picking up a little bit of frustration energy there. Is anything you want to let go of? If you don't want to do it publicly, that's fine. But that tension energy that Loya's picking up, I do believe that's coming from you. So if you want to just private message her and then... Okay, it is. So you could let it go here now before we close the circle, or you can private message Loya. And then
it'll take me a bit of work.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think I would appreciate a private message later, because it's going to take me some work. It'll take some work to get rid of that, because there's parts of it you don't want to let go of, and I don't mean that in a bad way. Boy.
Okay, she said okay. All right, thank you, Isabel. Loya, if you want to start pulling a card to start ending the circle.
All All right. And I actually feel to pull a card from a different deck. This is like one of my new favorites, the Energy Oracle cards. So we will see what this lovely lady deck has for us. Okay. So this here is the strategy card. I just need both hands here for a second. I forgot how to read through this book. This card shows a pen, journal, compass, and key. When you receive this card upright, it indicates that this is the optimum time for setting up a very specific strategy for achieving your goals. Write about the direction you want to go in. Consider any potential change in course that may be needed. Be aware of the particulars regarding your goals and have some conscious plan in mind. Structure the short-term goals needed to make your long-term goals a reality. This card is telling you to spend some time setting things in order. It's time to take full control and thought to action and set your sights on the road ahead. Again, I think that comes in with the animal energies that we were talking about earlier. Sorry, did I have that upside down for you guys? There we go. And I actually pulled two. The other one I pulled is Storm Warning. This card indicates a potential difficulty either in the external world or within yourself or your emotional life. The difficulty is coming closer, and you may have already heard rumblings of potential problems around you. The caution here is to be conscious, yet not fearful. Consider what's going on and look at the situation with calm clarity. Investigate your options and honor yourself and your intentions. Stand up for yourself and take action on your own behalf. As with all difficulty, even the worst storm passes. Always remember you have the power and the wisdom to handle whatever may come your way. I actually personally see how that fits in because this is also believing in yourself. Because if you don't believe in yourself, you don't do your inner healing, then your plans aren't going to work, right? So that's my take on that.
My situation, I had a little discussion again earlier about that, about the COVID-19 situation in Lloydminster. We've seen a lot of people not taking it as seriously in the city, and what I was telling my brother, I said that 2 weeks ago Lloydminster was freaking out about the virus, like, you know, crazy, buying stuff out and whatever. And now it's kind of like things went quieter, which is good. And but I was thinking about this old saying that I heard, that there's always how does it go now? The storm is always calm before it hits, or something like that. And so now people in Lloydminster are getting reckless again because, you know, number one, they have a lot of money right now. Number two, that you know, they're obviously not taking this virus as seriously as they should. And, you know, it's good that people are more calm now about it. But again, I just want to emphasize to people that if you are in Lloydminster or the surrounding areas of Lloydminster, please take this seriously. So I believe that, like what they say, there's an article or two out there, but anyways, about scientists, and they said we haven't hit our peak yet. We haven't hit the peak of the virus yet. And so again, just for all our precautions and safety, again, I want to just say thank you to everyone who tuned in, and that we are going to be doing more of these videos just for our own safety and for your guys' safety. But when it comes to the storm, like Loya said, please don't be afraid of the situation that's happening to us. It is like a stormy it is like a stormy situation right now for a lot of us. And those of you that know us personally, but maybe not even a year ago, we had different visions of a storm coming to the city. And Loya, you know what I'm talking about. We had this vision differently, and of a black cloud coming. And, we had our own interpretations that time back in January, February. And, then the virus hit. It hit us, it hit home basically for a lot of us. And now that we're in this storm, we always got to remember that the sun always comes out after a storm. And the lion, again, is to do with courage. It's to do with the sun energy.
Okay.
Yeah, and Dana said the calm before the storm. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dana.
There's berries here.
Blair also picked up some fairy energy here. So, we are doing our offerings to little people. And to the fairy world as well too. So we're very grateful. And then Denise, if you're ready, you can start doing the sound healing for us.
Drum.
Thank you so much, Denise. So we just want to end this off with a prayer again. So everybody just pray in your own way. We let go of a lot of energy tonight, so we want to make sure that the energy is sent, from us into the universe. And Priscilla will finish off with a rattle prayer or song or however
I
you
don't
go.
think they're gonna hear it. They won't hear it.
Okay. And then Denise will play hers. They'll hear it on here.
Now I'm going to say my ending of my prayer for my rattles. I really thank Creator for letting us all see another day today. So I will give thanks to Him or her, to Creator, God. I give thanks to see the sun and the moon every day. When the moon comes out, we see the sun basically every day, even though it's overcast at times. I give thanks for prayers. At times I need prayers as well, except I pray for all. We are all God's children. I pray for all of us to have a good night's sleep tonight. Go home and see our loved ones. The ones that are at home with their loved ones. Be safe with your family. It's home. I pray for all my family back home as well. For their safety as well. I pray for everyone to have a good night tonight, to see the sun tomorrow. Thank you.
Bye. So that ends our session with the full moon. So that gives you guys an idea of what we do for the full moon. Originally, when we're in person, we always do a potluck dinner to start it off. But because that's why we set this time for 9 o'clock. So we did our dinners and all that stuff with our suppers at home. But in the future, if you guys are ever interested in coming to an actual full moon gathering, when there is no coronavirus around, you guys are more than welcome to come and join the potluck. And we do the same thing tonight, but we also do a little bit more. It's a little more ritualistic setting. But this has been great. This is our very first time doing an online full moon gathering, and a lot of people asked for it. And we're super, super grateful for you guys for joining. And I'll keep in touch. So if there's nothing else, I believe we can stop the lives now. Okay. Have a good night, everyone.
Good night. Sweet dreams.
Night, everybody. Have a good evening.
Yeah. Good night.
Thank you.
Good night.
Oops. Where is it now?
Hit that. Leave meeting.
Leave me.
Is it just us?
Priscilla might.
Take the live off.
Okay. Yeah, it's just us now. Okay, we
We
gotta.
have to take the live off though.
Oops. Come on. Doesn't want to go off. Our